But nowadays, lot of sisters play this song when they tie Rakhi to their brothers, is what I'm trying to say. This song is more than 50 years old, and yet it plays today in so many homes, on social media, on Instagram. You go and you'll see that even yesterday somebody must have posted the song as a tribute to her brother or a tribute to his sister. So, Ma Shweta, are we ready with the song?
Yes, sir. I'm
Why did you
totally
choose this
ready.
song? What
And
about the song appeals to you?
uh, I don't have any siblings, but my father and my mother have. And I have seen their emotions towards their siblings, towards my Pishi, who I call Pishi in Bengali, my aunts. And whenever I listen to this song, I feel like if I have had a sister, I have many cousins. I always dedicate this song to them. And this is not just a song, this is an emotion to me. It's an amazing song for me. And thank
Thank,
you so much, sir, for inviting me in this event. Uh, thanks a lot. I came to
most
know a
welcome.
lot of about Anand Bakshi Sahab, our favorite. And when you said that uh, daughters bring luck, good luck, my father just patted on my back and he smiled. He appreciated this word so much. He and my mother is just sitting beside me. Thank you so much,
Wow.
sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Ritesh, sir. Should I start?
Yeah.
La 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 फूलों का तारों का सबका कहना है एक हजारों में मेरी बहना है सारी उम्र हमें संग रहना है फूलों का तारों का सबका कहना है एक हजारों में मेरी बहना है सारी उम्र हमें संग रहना है फूलों का तारों का सबका कहना है ला 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 जब से मेरी आंखों से हो गई तू दूर तब से सारे जीवन के सपने हैं जो ला 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 जब से मेरी आंखों से हो गई तू दूर तब से सारे जीवन के सपने हैं जो आंखों में नींद ना मन में चैन है एक हजारों में मेरी बहना है सारी उम्र हमें संग रहना है फूलों का तारों का सबका कहना है थैंक यू
Wow.
Wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
Beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful.
I think
you so
you made
much.
all of us remember our siblings. I think we all thought of our siblings when you heard this song now play,
Thank you so
sing.
much, sir. Thank you.
That was amazing. I
That was
think
so beautiful.
itna zyada talent hai. My God. Uh, I'm so like, I just want to keep listening. So
Okay,
like, that was so great job.
let's hear the last antara of the song. What is the last second antara of the song?
Okay. Okay. ये न जाना दुनिया ने तू है क्यों उदास तेरी प्यासी आंखों में प्यार की है प्यास ला 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 में प्यार की है प्यास, हाँ मेरे पास ना कह जो कहना है, 1000 में मेरी बहना है, सारी उम्र हमें संग रहना है, फूलों का तारों सबका कहना है, 1000 में मेरी बहना है, सारी उम्र हमें संग रहना है, फूलों का तारों का सबका कहना है.
You know, hearing this song, I wish I had called my sisters on this event, and I can tell my sister through this song that they are not just one in a hazar. My sisters, both Suban and Kavita, are 1 in a billion. 1 in a billion.
But
Wonderful,
what a beautiful song.
So if you have a
Beautiful.
sister, if you have a brother, I want you guys to just, after the event, just give them a call and tell them they're 1 in a billion.
I know, sir. My father and mother has got so emotional. They are going to video call my aunts, and we are going to celebrate. This is the Durga Puja time. This time, and today is Mahashashti, and we are previous year and the previous years we used to meet. We used to meet and we have some get-togethers in our flat or any restaurant, but this year for the COVID situation we couldn't, so that they're getting emotional and we will do that through the video calls. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Such a beautiful rendition. Thank you, Mahashweta. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ritesh, sir.
Thank you. Rakesh, a question for you. This is now regarding your work with Bicycles Angels. You've taken on the challenge of creating awareness for many worthwhile causes. And you are the founder of Bicycle Angels, a non-profit social initiative that helps donate bicycles to the underprivileged as a means of livelihood. Could you please share with us more about this?
So Bicycle Angel is something I began because, you know, when I was not able to publish my book, and it took me about 4 years to publish my first book. And at that time, I began to feel like a loser. I felt that, you know, there's something, maybe I've not made a movie. You know, I've not even completed my graduation. My marriage has failed. My business failed. I'm not able to make a movie. I've written a book in 4 years, not being published. What am I going to do? I mean, maybe I'm not good enough. So I began to suffer from this kind of a, not all the time. I would just feel it sometime because I'm a very positive person. I'm a very optimistic and positive person. But even the best of us get pulled down by negative thoughts. And I began feeling that maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe, you know, I should not should have been here. I should be in something else. I should be doing something else. And I thought that why not do something which can give me self-worth, because I thought maybe I'm suffering from self-worth. There's nothing wrong with me. It's maybe a little lack of self-worth is probably what I'm going through, and you know I need to get out of this negative feeling. So I thought, why not do something that from which I won't benefit? If I write a book, my name comes on it. If it does well, I learn royalty from it. If I make a movie, people will say, wow, you made a movie, very good, very good. Why not do something which can benefit people from whom I will not benefit? You know, I will not get anything out of it. So I thought if I help the underprivileged people and the less privileged people I don't know, because I am from a privileged family and privileged class of people. I don't meet people like that in my daily life. My life is different. My life is very privileged. So I thought if I go out of my way and I start meeting people who are underprivileged and less privileged on my own accord, you know, and see what I can do to make their lives better, somewhere it will make me feel good about who I am, you know, what I have achieved, whoever I am in my privileged life. And I remember my dad's song. There's a song he wrote which encouraged me a lot. तुम बेसहारा हो तो किसी का सहारा बनो, तुमको अपने आप ही सहारा मिल जाएगा. If you feel that you are lacking something, give somebody something that you have, and you will feel fulfillment out of that. By giving away something that you have, you feel fulfillment. So I began this Bicycle Angels with the help of many friends and relatives, where they would, I would look for people who need bicycles for their livelihood, like the people who sell bread, newspaper, flowers, vegetables, milk, and we would give them bicycles for livelihood, so that they can make a livelihood from it. So that's how I started Bicycle Angels. But after many years, after 2-3 years of doing that, I began to go beyond bicycles, and I realized that if I'm giving 2 wheels, why not give 4 wheels? 4 wheels means wheelchairs. So I thought that there are a lot of people who need 4 wheels to go out of the house, not 2 wheels. They need, because they can't walk. So I found out about cerebral palsy. I was not aware of cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy is a child born with a damaged brain, and because of which the child cannot walk, talk, aptly, properly. So I began to look for parents who have cerebral palsy children and who are poor, who are not able to afford a wheelchair or a walker, like crutches. And I began giving them, wheelchairs. Then I did that for 2-3 years, and I realized that I need to do more. I need to go beyond this, And I started looking for blind people and giving them computer education, because I felt that people who are blind, wherever they go in the world, they touch. They sense the world by touch. But on the internet, there's nothing to touch. There's only something to see or feel. So I thought that the blind will get left far behind in the internet world. The whole world is becoming digital. And if the blind people don't learn how to use computers, they will be left far behind. They're already behind us. They will be left even far more behind us if we don't teach them computers. So then we began funding computer education for blind people. And there are a lot of things I learned in these journeys, I must share that with you. I asked a mother one day, what's your ambition for your child, a cerebral palsy mother? Now, when I normally ask people who are not challenged in any way, if I ask them what is the ambition, they will say, I want to be a CEO of XYZ company. I want my son to be a pilot. I want my daughter to be a doctor. I want my daughter to be an engineer. I want her to be an astronaut. There are such amazing ambitions and dreams we have for our children. But whenever I would meet a mother who has a cerebral palsy child, I would always ask her this one question, that what is the ambition for your child? And 99% of the time, a mother who has a cerebral palsy child, her ambition is things like, I want my child to be able to pee on his own. I want my child to be able to go to the toilet on his own. I want my child to be able to stand on his own. I want my child to be able to walk on his own. I mean, we have dreams of being pilots and astronauts and tigers and leopards and elephants. And when you meet a cerebral palsy mother, you realize, my God, what a gift we have that we can pee on our own. What a gift we have that we can walk on our own. What a gift we have that we can run to the shop and buy something we want. I mean, these are children who can't even leave their homes because they have become big now. They are so heavy that the mothers can't carry them anymore. And they are poor. They can't afford wheelchairs. So I said, my God, I must give them wheelchairs. And one of the things which I heard from a couple of mothers, many mothers told me this, was earth shattering for me. I mean, I would start crying when I would hear them. I heard mothers tell me that our only dream for a child is that my child must die before me. Before I die, my child must die. Because if I die before my child dies, who will look after my child? Only I know what I go through looking after my cerebral palsy child. My husband can't do it. His brother can't do it. His sister will not do it. Nobody can do it. No nurse, no attendant can do it from a hospital. Only a mother knows what she goes through with a cerebral palsy child. And many of them told me on my face that we have only one prayer to God. We have only one wish in life, only one ambition, that before I die, he must die or she must die. When you hear these things, it shakes you. You get shaken up. Because here we are always wishing for someone's, my dad was in the hospital, I wished for a long health, long life. My mom was not well, I was wishing for a long life. I mean, we are always wishing for long life for people we love, and here there is someone who wishes for an early death for a child. So, I mean, I think, that's what makes you empathetic towards the world, that there are people who also need to pray for the death of someone in this world. Such circumstances, universe creates, biologically, that you pray that this person go away. So that was earth shattering for me as a person, I also learned something amazing from blind people. I always, whenever we have helped blind people, I always ask them this one question, that if you get your eyes right now, if there is a miracle of God, a miracle of the universe, or a medical by some operation, if I can give you your eyes back right now, this second, what or who will you want to see first? And 99% people will say mother, माँ. हम अपनी माँ को देखना चाहेंगे. 99% boys and girls, students have told me we want to see our mother first, then father, then brother. One student told me my teacher. I said, why teacher? He said, because my teacher is the only one who has never treated me like a blind person, always encouraging me. One person told me, one girl, she told me, if I get my eyes right now, I first want to see the sky. So I said, not mother, father. Saying, no, not mother, father. Mother, father, I will see later on. I want to first see the sky. So I said, why do you want to see the sky first, if you get your eyes back right now? She said, she was a graduate. She was doing her MA in history or science, something. So she said, from childhood till now, I've heard about sky, I've read about sky in poetry, but I've heard about the sky, I've read about the sky in poetry, in songs, people talk about the sky, and I have touched everything on this world. I have touched plates, I have touched bus stops, I have touched railway stations, I have touched the street, I have touched stones, I have touched my mother's nose, I have touched my father's head. There's one thing in my life that I've been hearing about since I was a kid, and I've not been able to touch, and that is the sky. So my ambition is, if I get my eyes back, I want to be able to see what is that one thing that I'm not able to touch till today, and that is the sky. So that was again a very, very moving moment for me, that how blessed I am that I have eyes. So what if I've got glasses and I've got number, I've got spectacles, I should think, oh my God, I've got glasses now and I have to wear spectacles to see. And that girl's ambition to be able to see the sky completely demolished my lamenting about having spectacles. I said, at least I can see the sky. This child has not seen the sky since she was born, and she's heard about it, how beautiful it is. So these are things, I have learned. So I think people say, oh, a lot of people have benefited through Bicycle Angels. I'd say, no, the person who's benefited the most from Bicycle Angels is myself. I have learned so much about human beings, about people, about life, about how to be blessed, gratitude. I think is the biggest lesson I've learned is gratitude to Bicycle Angels.
Wow, that is truly moving. It's truly moving, especially what you have mentioned about in some circumstances, what circumstances can lead to, whereby a parent has to wish for the unthinkable.
Unthinkable, yeah. I mean, you can't even say it.
They can't.
I mean, I can't even repeat it.
My goodness. But now on the lighter note, I would like to ask, what's the best advice you would give? Okay, I know you don't like the word advice, but what, which we learned earlier on.
So before we sign out, I think I would like to mention something about what my father believed in. He would always say, and he would write in his diary, in his writing diary, he would write this, that there is something inside me. And whenever I'm going through any difficult circumstances, or if I get a fever, or I'm not feeling well, I've got food poisoning for some reason, or I've got some acidity for some reason, and I have to function. Sorry. And I need to function immediately within the next few hours or few minutes. Believe me or not, there is this particular thing which I keep saying to myself, which my father taught me. And in a few minutes, I feel better. And that is simply so simple. It just powers me. He would say that there is something inside me. There is something inside me that is superior to my circumstances and more powerful and stronger than any situation of life. So whenever I've gone through any difficult challenge, when I've been not well personally, been in bad health, or I've faced anxiety because of some issue that somebody is suffering from, a family member, I just start saying these words to myself, loud enough for me to hear them myself, that there is something inside me which is superior to my circumstances, and it is more powerful and stronger than any situation in life. And so far, it has worked for me. It just makes me feel invincible, strong, powerful, and makes me bounce back in a few minutes.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Today we have actually learned so much. As much as we have learned about you and we have learned about your journey, but you have actually taught us quite a bit. We need to contemplate on some of the words you've said to us to actually think carefully and better our mindset regarding certain situations. Thank you. And I'll ask
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me over.
Thank
Is
you.
there anything anybody would like to ask me?
Yes, Nilofer has one more question before we do an official thank you to you. Nilofer?
Yeah, because हमने इतनी सारी बातें सुनी ना आपके करियर की, फैमिली की, of course about your dad and everything. अब आगे क्या होने वाला है? Because I think we need to look ahead in life. So I want to know what's on your
5, 5,
plate
6,
next.
9. This is for 6.
What are you working on next? Like, what's your next project? What are we expecting?
Next project is I'm working on a book on cinematographers, camera persons, the
wow.
people who shoot movies, the people who make the images for us to be able to watch a movie, to enjoy a film, to be inspired by a movie, to be motivated by a movie, or to be entertained by a film. That's what I'm working on right now. I don't know whether I'll succeed, but I've started walking the path.
You will.
And before I go,
Definitely, it's going to be a big hit.
Huh?
It's going to be a blockbuster.
I don't know.
I don't know. Business.
I don't know, but I think more important than the book is the journey. The people I'll meet. That is what is exciting me more than. And the book will be a bonus. It'll be a bonus or a byproduct of the journey of meeting these people, getting new experiences, learning new things, learning new things about myself, not just about the world, about myself. For me, that's very important to hear things which will make me realize that okay, I can do this, I can try this, I should try this, or I can change myself here. I think that is a really exciting part. Is that stuff like that.
That's wonderful.
So before we go, we would like to say thanks to even the singers, our 3 singers, Vaishnavi, Sangeeta, and Mahashweta. Thank you so much for coming on board.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you, Nilofer. Thank you to Rotary Club of Nairobi and all the international people out here.
Hi, Rakesh. I wanted to say hello to you. I joined in late. Thank you for your books.
Thank you very much.
We've not been able to meet. This is Kalpa, if you remember me.
Oh, of course, the cheese woman, the cheese.